Hello, you have to forgive me if I get this wrong, Ted Zog. Also good to see you, Docster, and Fabian Digital. Right, so a little nervous. This is the first stream I've had in a while. And also, I'm trying to make it a little bit more formal with just the general structure and things that we cover. To start with, oops, Callback was the first one I wanted to show. Okay, so let's just a setting. So, oh, hello, Mixels. Good to see you as well. Um, I'm hoping to get this a little bit more structured. I will start adding more and more features to the stream, such as like the on-screen chat, maybe webcam, things like that, in future episodes. But this is just the first one, so I expect it's going to be, still quite rough. But anyway, so Callback is a recently released sculpting game for Amiga. It's a very different. Well, it's very different to the usual Scorpion engine projects of most of the platforms. This is sort of a hybrid of a shooter and a sort of like an Arkanoid clone. Oh, better put that full screen. Hopefully that scales okay. No, that doesn't quite look right. Definitely have a few things to I definitely have a few things I need to improve on. Let's see if we can change that to native. Is that going to... Okay, I think that's looking a bit better. I will go... yeah, so one of the things I really love about this is just sort of how quirky and interesting the visuals are with... feels like every pixel on screen gets animated. It sort of gives me a very, like, Jeff Minter vibe to it. Just slip through this. There's so much going on in this game, and even like one of the things I noticed is when the ball hits against the wall at the sides, it knocks it. Whoops! I really need to be paying more attention. Whoops! I think I've got limited ammo, so I should try and save. Yeah, I'm out of shots now, which is alright. Hopefully, I can knock the rest out with paddle. I'm not sure if I mentioned this. The name of the developer is Dataline. Please let me know if the audio balance is okay, if you can hear me over the music all right, or if I need to put my speech up or put the music up Almost had it, but then it ran into I think I can aim the shots. So I really should have saved my last few shots. Okay. Alright, so laser was ready. I think the laser must recharge. Whoa. Oh, that was a little bit tricky having the wall right next to the paddle. Fortunately, I've got a whole bunch of lives, so there's that. Well, maybe I should I should use the laser to get rid of some of those early ones. Oh, I hadn't tried the slow effects thing before. That's cool. So you see, I can right click to slow down the frame rate. It makes it a little bit easier to hit the ball. But yeah, this is one of those games that looks really cool in motion. As if just every pixel on the screen reacting to something else. Oh. Actually, I'll just shoot that last one. Oh. It's just while I'm playing, I was just doing a little bit of mental analysis on some of the effects. It looks like some of those background things looks like they might be slightly controlled by. So I was about to say some of them look like they were being controlled by my mouse. I'm not actually sure about that, but some of them appear to be using the Scorpion patrol type, which is for Pac-Man-like movement. That's why you see some of those background elements sort of moving like on a grid style movement. That's one of the things about this game is it's using the engine in a very clever way. Like, I never would have thought that the patrol movement type would have any utility in an Arkanoid game, but it it clearly does. So that's really cool. I believe that Dataline had this game at Amiga 40. It would have been really cool to see it there, play it play it there on the real hardware. Whoop. Mixel said he did, and he bought a massive CRT. That would have been so cool to see this on. So I wonder what the yeah, I was wondering what these pixels would look like on a CRT. Yeah, I was wondering if you actually could aim the shots. I think you can. So if you hit it on the very right edge, it sort of goes far to the right, or on the very left edge, it goes far to the left, or in the middle, it just sort of goes straight up and down. Maybe. I don't quite know how the physics tends to work in Arkanoid games, but it you know, plays well and it feels good. Fab Digital says no time for blinking an eye. Yep, I would agree. Fortunately, we've got the that slow time power up. You know, it might be cool to see this on the Mega Drive output. I don't currently have support for the Mega Drive mouse, but that is something that I'm planning at some stage. Oh, okay. Is that the boss? I probably should. I've got the laser. I should use it. Whoa! I'd have to. Oh, now here's the boss. Oh wow. Okay. Man, that's crazy. A rotating coin. That's so cool. I guess. Actually, it reminds me a little bit of the games by Cactus Squid, who I think he's mostly famous these days for Hotline Miami, but he did a whole lot of really interesting games before that I used to really be into. Oh, hi Flibble, welcome to the chat. Fabiano Digital asks if slow down on is done on purpose. Yeah, there's a I'll go for this one next. Yeah, there. If you right click, you do the slowdown. If you left click, you do the shooting. And in fact, you can see the at the bottom left is the ammo for the laser, and at the bottom right is the ammo for the slowdown effect. Some of this game is very tricky, but it is very, very generous with lives, so there is that. Flibble asks if this is 3 colors as transparent, so 2-bit planes. I think I would assume so. I can only see black, white, red, and blue. I can't really see any colors other than that. And since there's only with only a couple of bit planes, it means that you can sort of cover the screen with a lot of different effects and not face slowdown. Well, except for the deliberate slowdown from the power up. One thing I only just noticed is it says slow effects full, so so that is handy to know. It's when it's use it or lose it. Oh, I don't have any laser. Oh, now I've got full laser. Okay, well that's good. I should be able to just finish the level like that. Use the laser to clear up some of that. Flubber says, actually very cool they chose to use square tiles and not oblong, less logic to deal with. Yeah, that's a thing that can make an Arkanoid style game a bit tricky. Is Scorpion is very strictly designed around a 16 by 16 grid. Things like collision detection gets a bit harder if you're trying to make things that are like 16 by 8 or 8 by 8. But just keeping it 16 by 16 does keep it very simple. Just clear out some of these. Oops. So another random thing I've noticed, so with the Scorpion engine you have the concept of panels for displaying UI information above and below the main game. Where it says laser ready, that's not part of the panel, that's actually part of the level. Because you can, occasionally you can see like, well, you can see the panels actually overlapping that text. But presumably everything below that, also the text at the top of the screen, that will all be done with panels. Actually, I've got laser, I should just use it. Oh, out of laser again. I have to try to aim that one. There we go. It is not optimal. Oh. Ah. Bleeding lives here, but fortunately I've got a lot of them. I think maybe only the laser can hurt her? Mixers Lab says this is 256 by 256. Yeah, I think it's at resolution because it seems to be square, but it also seems to be taking up the whole PAL vertical height. Alexandra Blender, welcome to the chat. What is the goal system? I think it's just, I mean, it's like an Arkanoid game. You've got to keep breaking the blocks, but I just fought a boss, and I think with the boss, you've just got to recharge the laser and shoot the boss. Okay, well, that was Callback by Dataline. Very cool, a very psychedelic Arkanoid clone. I am just going to take a break for 30 seconds, and then I am going to play a game that I've never even seen before, Osiris by Hoyster Games. So I will be back in just a couple of minutes. Hello, Jake the dog. Welcome to chat. Alexandra Blender says Amiga or MD. So that game, well, the games I'm showing today are all Amiga games. The Scorpion engine itself supports the Amiga, the Mega Drive, and the Neo Geo as the three current official platforms. Okay, so this next game is Osiris by Hoyster Games. I have never played this one before, so I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's about. Hopefully, it's going to run no problems. We'll see. Oh, and I really should have, I should save my default settings. Yeah, very cool intro screen. Oh, interesting. So this does have a very similar aesthetic to his previous game, Rex and the Galactic Plague. I wonder if it's meant to be a sequel to it. Mixel Lab said, "Wait, where did this come from?" This, I guess, this might be the first time anyone is seeing this game. It's certainly the first time I've seen this game. So, Hoyster Games, who made Rex and Galactic Plague, sent this to me. I probably actually should have been reading this. That user choice again, upgraded cipher with Nexus. One with fire. Okay, so that's good to know. Well, let's see what happens if we just start playing it. Ah, it looks like a is it gonna be like a soccer band game? Huh. Okay, can we? Okay, so we can only. Oh. Okay, so we can pick things up and we can put them down. We'll pick things up at least. So that goes into there. Well. Huh. If level says Robocop 3. Yes, that's Dataline did note that. Sorry, not Dataline. Hoyster Games did note that Robocop 3 soundtrack is being used temporarily. Now, oh, I see. So you got node. It says node pushes up the top. So the idea is you have to do everything within the limit, I guess. But there's also shifts. Can I? Okay, so we can. So I can go outside here, but can I go back in? The manual did mention space. Actually, that background is very cool. That would be just using the sprite parallax system. 5, 4. What did? Okay, so I can use that shifts thing. Okay, so I could put it behind me like that. I don't know if that saved me a node push. So if I go to... Now that decreased my node pushes by 2. I don't know if that was a bug. Okay, might have to read that manual again. Oh, Oh, that's cool. High score. High score screen. Let's go back to mission briefing. Reconnect the sludge nodes. Excessive movement will break nodes, increase viral load, critical viral load. Ah. Button 1 will flip nodes or other elements behind your cipher. Button 2 or space will drop nodes behind your cipher. Okay, so I need to work out what the difference between button 1 and button 2 is. Okay, and so it has puzzle and it has action. I can't seem to turn on or off the action sequences, so presumably they're just on for this build. Oh! No, okay, I didn't see that one before, the grabbing thing. Let's try that. Okay, so let's grab that. Okay. Alright, so that's how you do the first puzzle, is you've got to grab... Got to use the grabby thing. I should note that this is a work in progress, so there are bugs are expected. Hello Mono Z, welcome to the chat. Okay, now this is interesting. What does... So that looks... Okay, so that looks like health, but... You, presumably that hurts me if I don't time it right. Okay, so... Oh, of course I can, I can do that. So I haven't got very many node pushes, so... Should I do a couple of these and then try to get the health? Okay, so my shifts are exhausted. Whoops. Okay, so let's try this again. So, flip that. Before I push it again, I'm going to try to get the health. Okay. So Mono Z, I'm playing, this game is called Osiris, and it's by Hoyster Games, who also made Rex and the Black Plague. It's sort of a kind of a soccer bandy puzzle sort of thing. Earlier I was playing, so this is an unreleased game, so I think this is the first time it's been seen publicly. Before this, we were playing Callback by Dataline, which is a really interesting Arkanoid style game. Oh, okay. Now this is that gonna? Actually, I should test what happens if I'm... Okay, so that... Ah, now that's interesting. So that zaps me, and it costs some of my movement points. Oh. Oh, okay. Wrong color. So I'm gonna run out of movements. Oh, gotta spam. Let's report that. What happens if I Oh, okay, I messed that up. I might not have enough shifts left. I'll check. So that red thing doesn't hurt the nodes. It only hurts me. I should be using my shifts as well. Six, 5, 4, 3. No, I have to use the node shifts and pushes in some way to get it across the line. Oh, because if I drop it... Okay, I think I see what I'm supposed to do. So if I drop that behind me here, I can... can I do that again here? If I drop that, and then... Okay, so I'll flip that over to there. Do I want to... Yeah, I'll do what I did... I dropped that behind me. behind me. I'm out of... Oh, that was a close one. Fabiano Digital says, hopefully there is any kind of shortcut like the Pac-Man on top edge. I think there might be. In the first level, I was able to like actually walk outside of the map, but I wasn't sure if that was a bug. Okay, this one looks interesting. So I don't know if that diamond does it. Okay, so fortunately that doesn't kill the thing. I presume it kills me, but I'm also assuming it's not going to kill that. So let's okay, I need to drop this. I can only drop it with can only drop it behind me. I need to go through and get the health. I don't have a lot of pushes or shifts, but if I use I can use the shifts to get it most of the way there. One minor infraction downgraded to temporary status. Travel between plates. Okay, so okay, so I was wondering what that circle was. That's just an indicator where the teleporter goes. Oh, that was the wrong one. I've messed this up already. I don't think I've got enough shifts left to be able to... No. Looks like I might also be able to go outside the level, maybe? So I can go out through here. I wonder if that's slightly faster for the yellow one at least. So I can then go up to here. Okay, so I need to get this last one. Is it going to be faster? So that's 1, 2. Oh, which way is it going to be faster? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hang on. Fab Digital mentioned the Pac-Man thing. Oh. No, I was wondering if I could go through there and then end up at the bottom left. It doesn't look like it can. And I can go out here, but that's not really going to help me. Have a look. Well, I've only got one shift left. Well, I've made a decision. Hopefully there's enough. 5, 4, 3. Yep. Okay, made it. Blue gates can transfer node. And only... Okay, looks like we've got more things I need to avoid. Okay, so if the blue gates can only transfer the node... Okay, yeah, that's what I thought would happen. So I need to get... Oh! Okay, well, at least it didn't kill me. Just need to work out how to get past that. I guess I have to follow it, and then at the last moment... Oops! Is that... Oh, that's costing me my node pushes. Oy. Okay, I don't think I've got enough to be able to finish it. Okay, so it's just a timing thing. I didn't realize that I moved slightly faster than the viruses. So if I time this right... Oh! Ah. I already messed that up. I was close that time. Well, I can go outside the level here. The question is there anywhere I can go back inside the level? Don't think there is. Oh, maybe up here? Okay. Alright, well that would have made it easy to... welcome back, Mixel's Lab. Do I have enough node pushes now? I guess I do. Just. Gold gates are non-compatible with the node. What is that? Okay, so it looks like I can go through one and that will go through the other one. Oh, and I've got to get this over to there. Oh, hang on. Okay. Can I? No, I can go through the yellow. Alright, so I might as well just die. Okay, so I can go through the yellow, but the node can go through the blue. Let's have a look. Okay. So where does... Okay, so the red one goes on the side anyway, so I didn't need to try to get that one through. Okay, so I need to go to the other side and grab the yellow. Just need to wait for that to get out of the way. Now this one I'm going to have to time it right. Can put that through the blue, but I have to go through the yellow. Okay, I should be able to make that. 1, 2, 3. Oof. Okay. From what I gather, the game crashes at level 10. So I might just do maybe 1 or 2 more levels, and then I will get on to other things. Just trying to work out if there's anything... Actually, what did it say about the red gates? Are we both able to go through the red gates? Okay, oh that's good. Hopefully I've got enough shifts left to do the next one. Oh, okay, yeah, I missed. So I thought I had, it was quite generous with the number of shifts and pushes, but if I saw there's actually another one that needs to be done. Okay, just made it. Whew. Jake the Dog says, I think having a good collection of Scorpion Engine games and approaching Amiga Vision and AGA could be awesome, as it would introduce them in their launches for sure, probably with the playlist they keep updating. I'm embarrassed to admit this, I'm not actually sure what Amiga Vision is in that context. I assume they do like WHD load packs or something like that? Oof. Just that one the rest of the way. Now I don't know if I have enough shifts. Oh, okay, so Amiga Vision is full configuration for A1200, is based on AGS, but is curated and has PAL entities, fixes, and other benefits on top of it. Originated as something for the Mr. Now works on emulator real hardware as well. Yeah, oh, it might be cool seeing some of the Scorpion Engine games in that. think I've got enough. I've only got 4 pushes left. No, I'll mess that one up. Well, I'm going to have just one last try at this one, and if I don't make it, then I don't make it. I feel like this one, from a puzzle point of view, it's not that hard, but it is all about the timing with a lot of different things going on at once. Also, yeah, I might have used up too many shifts. Because I dodged the cubes, but oh no, not enough left. Yeah, looks like I just don't have enough left to be able to finish it. Oh. Okay, I guess I ran out of lives. So, oh, well, that was Osiris by Hoyster Games. So I think this was sort of the first public demonstration of the game. Oh, the Osiris Infection. It's the full name of it. So I think that will do for user projects. I wanted to talk about a couple of my own projects, or a couple of my own updates for Scorpion Engine, just some of the things I've been working on lately. Mixels Lab says, love the style. Yeah, it's really cool. We had a couple of games today that both had quite a interesting art style, and quite dynamic with a lot of things going on at once. Going to open my real-time scaling demo. Where is that? That is under all platforms. So real-time scaling was well, there's a couple of major features I want to talk about today. Real-time scaling was one of them. So this demo runs basically the same across the 3 major platforms. It has a relatively simple loop where it goes through and shrinks on both axes. So I'm going to demonstrate how it all works. So when we're running this on Neo Geo, this is using the actual Neo Geo shrink registers, or sprite shrinking feature. And it gives a fairly clean effect because it is skipping. Like it basically works similar to using like a pixel resize feature in a graphics package, where it just sort of skips every X number of lines when it's scaling in and out, and it looks good, looks smooth. So that's it running on the Neo Geo. We switch to the Genesis, or the Mega Drive. And the Mega Drive, you can see it's a little bit chunky. It still works, but it is just sort of a bit, not quite as impressive, and that's because the Mega Drive simply doesn't have any real-time or doesn't have any sprite shrinking feature. So this is basically the same effect more or less emulated on the Mega Drive just by moving sprites around. So this is a is it? I need to check out how big that actually is. I think it's what, 128 by 128. Fabian Digital says Mega Drive must mix and interrupt for vertical and sprite shenanigans for horizontal. Yeah, that's that's a good point. So Fab Digital is pointing out if we had fine-grained control over the horizontal interrupt, we could we could make this effect a bit better. At least with that vertical scrolling or vertical scaling. But in any case, the effect is there. So if you're making a Neo Geo game with this sort of effect, you can at least get something sort of similar on Mega Drive. Now, one thing I'll note about how this works is, so this is a 128 by 128 image, so 16 by 16, so that is what? 8 times 8. So that's actually made out of 64 individual sprites. So that is pretty close to your actual sprite limit on the Mega Drive. So you wouldn't be able to do too much larger than that. Because now if I go to animation, so you see if we've got this is scalable. I need to change this so it says is shrinkable, and I've put slow there because it does run slower than the non-shrinkable sprites, even without even if you're not shrinking it. But it basically means if you've got that tick box checked, then you can use the player shrink value. So the player shrink is basically a byte between 0 and 255. So 255 is a full size, and then 0 is like, tries to scale down to 1 pixel. So that's what it's running like on, so that was what it was running like on the Mega Drive. If we go to Amiga, now this is not actually an Amiga. Actually, I'm just gonna. So this is not actually an age. It doesn't need AGA. So I'm going to switch to OCS. I think Flobel mentioned some issues with a E4000. I'll see if I have the same issues myself. With on Amiga, we need to set it here. So we've got different render types. So for example, if you set something to shrinkable, you can't have it as a sprite. It is, and what it does is it divides that all up into individual bobs. So that is 64 individual bobs. So it's not very performant. That is something I want to work on. I want to see if I can make it so that we can run it in a maskless mode, so that on a basic background like that we don't so we're not wasting as much performance. So a note from Fab Digital. Sunsoft's Batman logo intro in Mega Drive is a good reference to the ancient shrink. I should look into that. I did also note that I was looking at a demo that Master Linkleway did in, I think it was in Next Basic, and that had some really cool horizontal shrinking of vertical shrinking that I need to look at. But anyway, so going back to this, so this is set to shrinkable. If I have it set to anything else, then player shrink is just going to be ignored. So that's important for Amiga. That's important for Mega Drive. For Neo Geo, it doesn't matter. It just everything is shrinkable. It doesn't need to be specifically turned on. So if I run that, now the effect is a little different to Mega Drive. I think a little, still not as good as Neo Geo, but maybe a little bit better than the Mega Drive, and that is because this is all being done with the blitter, and with the vertical shrinking, it's just changing the blitter size. So, for example, when it's at 50% scale, it says just draw the top 8 lines, and with the horizontal scale, it is just using what they call the first word mask. So it is just drawing again the first 8 lines. The reason it still doesn't quite look as good as the Neo Geo is because the Neo Geo, when it shrinks, it doesn't just cut off the last X number of lines. It spaces those lines that it removes evenly through the 16 pixels in each horizontal and vertical in each sprite. But again, this is, I only implemented this feature last night at like 2 in the morning. This is the early days for it. Hopefully I'll be able to improve the performance on it. Hopefully I'll be able to make it look a little nicer, a little closer to Neo Geo. But as it stands, I think, it's an alright effect. That was pretty cool. Monoz says, very cool. Do you think this could be implemented in game like Phantasy Star when an enemy dies? Yeah, I guess so. Like, you could have your enemies, like, you maybe not all of your enemy sprites, but if you have like a dying sprite, then you would want to set that to shrinkable. So shrinkable from here, and then you would have some sort of loop that goes through, and then it just sort of goes, okay, well, start with 255 and then keep decreasing it until it's 0 and then destroy it. But you may also, Fab Digital says, for a first attempt was remarkable. Thank you very much. Yeah. So you may also want to consider, like, for like a death animation, you may want to manually resize, like just make an animation that is just, your actor at different sizes. You can also combine those approaches, so sort of like a hybrid approach where like most of the scaling is done with the shrink, but then you might say, well, when it gets to say 75% or 50%, then I'll switch to another manually resized image, and so that way you get a little bit smoother transition between the full scale and the full shrink. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about as far as the real-time scaling. So I'm going to segue into the Codeblocks too. So you might have noticed, if you're a Scorpion user, you might have noticed recently that the text here is more concise. So this has been all changed so that these are all like, it's been changed to a language so that every command can be expressed as as syntax. So there is a defined grammar for it. So if I create a new code block, and I'm just going to call this a new code block. So this creates it in the code block 2 format, and if I don't know, let's declare a variable, and let's just call that my var 5. And then I've got edit button here, and what this will do is this will bring it up in the text view, so I can. Oh, Flibble UKC is definitely nice for title screen presentations in regards to the real-time scaling. Yeah, so that so because that effect sort of was based on the Neo Geo, the very famous Neo Geo eye catcher animation, and it'll be cool to see some things like that in Scorpion for things that are not necessarily Neo Geo. But anyway, so going back to this, what we can do is we can actually I'll just make that from there. So when we go back to here, because all of our commands are here, so you can externally edit code block in a text editor. You may want to do that, especially for like if you're doing quite extensive logic and you don't necessarily need the drop downs at all times. And for any existing code block, so this is in code block 1, so I don't have edit button. I do have the upgrade button, and then it asks me, are you sure I want to do that? So I will go ahead and do that. It seems to be safe, but I've made it optional just in case there's anything that just in case there's any problems with the conversion process. I don't force it on the user. And now I can then click edit and got it all here. Now the other thing is there is a Visual Studio Code plugin by Docster, who was I don't know if he's still here. Was here before. So if I go to Visual Studio Code and so I shouldn't be showing that. That's my actual project source for Scorpion Engine. Let's open that. Okay, so you should be able to find this Scorpion Engine plugin on the marketplace. So if you've got Visual Studio Code, you should be able to just look for Scorpion Engine, then install it from there. And then what that means is that let's go to, where is the code block to? Yeah, I'll go to this new one. So you've got syntax highlighting there. And it is worth noting this is still this agent mode. Some AI thing. Let's get rid of that. I suppose now that Codeblocks is plain syntax, eventually the code like this is going to go into repositories, which means that AI is going to see it, which means that eventually you'll be able to vibe code in Scorpion, maybe. I guess we'll see. But aside from that syntax highlighting, you can so you can hover over it and then it will give you some documentation. But say if I want to load a level, so let's just type in level, and then it comes up with autofill. So yeah, let's say I want to load map, and then I push tab. Do I want fade in? I'm going to say no fade in. I want music module. I don't want to set music position. Say I want to set a top panel. I don't want to set a bottom panel, but I do want to set a background. And then so that's auto filled it with the all of the syntax for what for the level, or for the level command. So and then I can just change to say, okay, well, I want to load my music. So that's where it is at the moment. There's still things I need to provide to Docster, such as all of the internal variables, all of the internal constants. Hopefully I'll get those to Docster in the next few days. But this is a very cool start. Hi, Meg again. Welcome to the chat. Unfortunately, I can't read French, but um, I'm very happy to have you here. Mixers Lab says, I guess I should install Visual Studio. Yeah, install Visual Studio Code. So they're very, very different things. So Visual Studio, so this plugin is of Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio is sort of a more, more fully fledged development environment that you can use. That is sort of more for compiling, well, for doing larger projects, for doing like I use it personally for Unity development, but Visual Studio Code is much more lightweight. It's it's almost more like a glorified editor, though you can do your compilation and things like that. But yeah, so Visual Studio Code is what you want to use with this plugin. Mixel says, I'm guessing Notepad++ can't use Visual Studio Code plugins. It's all very alien to me. Not as far as I know. I would not have thought that Visual Studio Code could be used for, well, the plugins could be used in Notepad++, but given that Notepad++ is open source, maybe someone's worked out a way. I don't know. Well, I think that's all I really wanted to cover on the new features. We've still got a bit of time left in the stream. I had this idea that maybe I would go to Open Game Art and then just start jamming on some sort of demo or effect or like demo scene sort of thing. If anyone's got any suggestions for what they might like to see me try to make in Scorpion in the time that we've got left. I'll look at featured art, see if there's anything. Most popular art of all time. I recognize that. I was using that for the ladder demo. Okay, Fab says, Digital says, since Visual Studio Code is editing Scorpion Engine's code, would it be possible to trigger Scorpion Engine to compile projects within it? That's something I hadn't thought of. I guess there's two ways it could be done. Like, one is if there's some way of saying, okay, we'll find the open instance of Scorpion Engine and then run the compilation. But also, I could look at making it so that there's command line arguments for Scorpion Engine. So if there was a way of saying, okay, well, just do the compilation without opening the editor, then that can, run in like a command window or something like that. That would allow, like, I think it's Control-Shift-B to do a build from Visual Studio. So yeah, no, that's something I had not really considered, but I think that's a natural evolution of it that hopefully we'll get there over time. Flubble says, could the same data be used to provide hover over info in Scorpion Native? I think so. One of the weaknesses with the commands in Scorpion was until now there wasn't really like any kind of formal definition of all the commands and what their expected parameters are. But we maybe could have this just show in a pop-up if you're hovering over, like just leave your mouse hovering over a specific command. Though you do see a lot of this information from like this here in particular when you're setting a command in the Scorpion editor. Okay, Mixel says, trying to think of something nobody's done. Are the assets for an Asteroids clone? That's an interesting one. Jake the Dog says, you're trying to do something complex in terms of demo or more rudimentary. I'd love to see you do a typical sign scroll of the copper bar in Starfield, to be honest. Never gets old. The problem with copper support in Scorpion at the moment is that it doesn't really have ability to fine grain control the copper. Like you can pre-compile like a copper rainbow, but you can't sort of manipulate that rainbow real time. But might be able to do something maybe. Ted Zog says a run and gun game would be cool. Complete out features. You know, I might consider a an Asteroids type game. So I'm gonna need. Well, let's create a new project. Now, this is obviously going to be very simple because, you know, sort of 20, 30 minutes. Okay, so let's just start with space. I just want. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Well, I might grab that. So there's a lot of colors here. I'm going to need to down mix them. Oh. That background 4. Yeah, I guess I'm going to need to decide on like a resolution and a I guess it would make sense to go 320. Yeah, 320 by 240 works. It's not going to be smooth scrolling. Also need to think about. Well, I'll need. Oh, that's kind of interesting. This one. Right, Atlas. Okay, well that gives me basically everything I need for just ignore all that junk in the downloads folder. I really should have cleaned that up before going on stream. Okay, well that gives me a few things that I can use to create something Asteroids like. Now I want to I'm going to want to down mix this all to sort of a shared palette. So this is a very hacky way of doing it. I'm going to make it 16 colors, and the reason, so that's not very many colors at all, but what it does mean is that you know, I'll be able to run it on. It won't be just for Amiga; it'll be Neo Geo and Mega Drive, because those, well, because they got like quite big palettes, but they are only what, 16 colors of sprite, so it makes it nice and easy if it's all 16 colors. So let's save that. So that is going to be the basis for my palette. I'll need to open that in XNView because XNView has much better color reduction than PaintShop Pro. So we don't want to. Let's change that to that. Turn off. Yeah, that is going to be a bit of a mess, but we will work with it. This is just going to be a really quick and simple demo. Okay, so we've got our palette. And let's if I open that. Actually, let's go back to here. So we can see our palette. So that's given us a range of colors. I'm going to set the black to true black. And then if I edit our palette, Flibble says use a 16 color sprite background. Actually, why didn't I do that? I should have done this as an AGA project. And that means I could have, like, how many colors do I have in this? Okay, so that. All right, yep. So here's what I'm going to do. So, I am going to. All right, so I'm going to replace the sprite palette with, well, that, and then do I need to? Oh, whoops! Didn't need to do that. Okay, so if I change that color depth to 16. And then save it. So that has given, so that's given me colors for just the sprite. Just sprites. I'm going to go to AGA, and so since I'm an AGA, I can then use you have a different set of colors for this background. So I'm going to, although it is only got. This will only be 256 wide, so I'm just going to cut off. Should I resize it, or yeah, I'm going to resize it to be 256 or 240. Just 250. No. So let me just try that again. Let's get rid of the lock aspect ratio. Okay, so we have this as a different 16 color palette. In fact, we don't really need. Well, let's put it to 32 color mode, and then what I will do is okay. So what do we got there? So that's. Yeah, okay, so since I'm using it as a regular level background, I don't need to, I don't need to, don't need to shrink it anymore. So let's create a folder called maps. So this is going to be my tile set. And then I'll go back to here and let's reduce that to 16 colors. And let's what sort of death ring do we want? No, let's go that one. Okay, save that. So that's our map background. Let's import those colors into our main palette. So we want to import from 0 to 16, and then we want 16 colors. What? That didn't work. Oh, why didn't that work? What did I do? I didn't overwrite. Did I overwrite the main palette? Maybe I did. 2, 16. Don't know what I've done wrong there. Oh, is it because... No, all those colors are there. Maybe it doesn't like it because it's not a... It doesn't like it because it's not a 256 color palette. So let's remix that as 256 colors. Let's try that again. So we're importing from 0, importing it to 16, and we're doing 16 colors. Oh, well, that's disappointing. There must be some weird bug with there must be some weird bug with this that I haven't seen before. Can I do to work around it? I'll go back to Osiris mode. I'll try it. Try it again. So importing from 0, importing to 16, and 16 colors. No, there must be. This is the experimental version. I must have broken something somewhere. What other way can I use to quickly? I guess I'll just try switching to the stable one. I can always switch back. Okay, so let's go to Asteroids. So it's a bit embarrassing to happen on stream, but these things happen. Hopefully this is just going to work. From 0 to 16. No. No, it's nothing to do with my color mode. Because 32 colors, that should... Let's reopen map 1. So it was map 1 I'm trying to import from, right? So it's going to overwrite them. Okay, so it works if I import it to here, to the first block of colors, but not... Let's try... I'm just going to try... Okay, so there's some bug whereas if I try to import from above... So it only seems to want to overwrite the first few colors. I don't know why. It doesn't make sense to me. Is there a way I can... No, okay. Alright, so what I will do, just to work around this, is let's get our... Well, let's go back to experimental again. So we've got our map colors there. Hang on. Do I have... Yeah, let's open that one. So how many colors is it counting now? 32. Okay, so that's what we expect. So if I go increase to that. So this is a bit of a rough hack. I'll need to sort out the palette later, but what this will do for now is mean that I've got all 32 colors here. The problem is that it's going to be a mixture of background colors and the active colors, but that's okay. So yeah, so this will work fine on Amiga, but for Mega Drive and Neo Geo, I'll need to rearrange the palette, but that's okay. I'll just need to create a tile set. What's map 1? Let's create a map using map 1. Call that map 1 as well. I guess there's no reason why you can't have this name the same as the tile set. I could have also done generate map from PNG, but this is basically the same. So let's select the whole lot. Whole lot of this, and then paste that there, and then what is it? Well, that'll be 16 wide. No, 20 wide by 14 tall, maybe about 12 tall. Select none. Size map. Oh, no, that was the right size. Okay, so let's create a new. Oh, no, we've already got a start code block. Oh, now that's another issue. Because this is brand new, this is in Codeblocks. This should be in Codeblocks too. So I'll need to. Another bug I'll need to fix is that all new Codeblocks, including starting ones, should be in Codeblocks already. And what? Just level map 1 should be enough to start the game. I've got the 2 fast RAM in because why not? And let's yep, okay, well that gives us our starting point. I do want to make it the full width, and I'm going to turn off smooth scrolling, because smooth scrolling makes it more tricky for the DMA, but we don't need smooth scrolling because it's a fixed screen game. Yep, there we go, full screen, no problems there at all. Now, so I guess 2 more things we want to try and do is just look up if there's a rot sprite. Whoops. Okay, I guess we won't be downloading that then. Is there a rot sprite online? So rot sprite is a really cool algorithm that it's just a really nice algorithm for being able to scale rotate pixel art. Okay, so let's okay, copy and paste that. Oops. Oh, why is it still feathering? Oh, because I've got anti-alias on. Sprites, and I'll just call this one player. Yep. Okay, so wait, can we divide 60 by 30? Can we do it in? Okay, so we can do it in oh yeah, multiples of 30. Should be fine. And what, that'll be 210, 240, 270, 300, and 330. Okay, so I think I've got all of our directions. So if we go into sprites, player, ship, I probably should at some day look at adding that as like a native feature of the engine. You know, just being able to rotate like that, but let's have a look. Oh, actually, I think I want to rotate through this. Yeah, I want to rotate through this backwards. It is, and yeah, I'm actually really impressed by how well it's you know, how clean it is. So let's create a player. I might just get the might just get the ship working and then you know, call it a day. Next week, I could maybe look at adding the actual asteroids. Well, let's just start with this, and I'm going to call this player ship. Oh, now one thing I wanted to do here is I want to make these all in infinite delay. So what that means is that if it's on a specific frame, it is going to stick to that frame. Do I actually need that last one? I don't technically need that last one, but I could have. Yeah, it might be useful to have that there just in case I make some mistakes with rounding. Okay, so I can spawn this in code, so I should be able to just go spawn what, player ship, is that what I called it? Oh, and I want to put like x is what, 128 equals what, 120? Maybe? Oh wait, that should be 160 maybe. Let's try that. Oh, one thing I was supposed to note about Codeblocks too is that if I made some mistakes, so if I go, I don't know, my fake value equals, so that's a syntax 0. So what it does and what it will do in here is it will turn the stuff that's broken into a comment, and I say, well, okay, I can see what my mistake is, so I can actually fix it here in editor. It doesn't just tell me, you know, this is broken. Oh, although I don't need that, I can just go that. And then when I go back, it says reload it, yes, and so that's given me the correct values. Now let's see if it will at least put the ship on screen. Yep. Okay, so that's working as expected. what we need now is, like, we don't really have an asteroid style controller. Like, we don't really have anything in here that we can say, well, okay, we need to set that as player to start with. We don't need his camera file. Okay, camera doesn't move. We don't have any blocks. All those are okay, but we don't really have, none of these are really suitable for a asteroid style game at the moment. So we need to do something entirely custom. Let's create a new code block, and we're going to call it player handler. I might try to code this in Visual Studio Code, actually. So if I open that folder, I want to look at our. Oh, actually, I should have a code folder, so all the code is together. Let's move that into there. Startup, and what was the other one? Player handler. In fact, I can just open that folder, so I don't need the whole project folder. I just need where the code is. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so I think I have a player rotation variable, which is 0 to 356. So I'm just going to go player rotation equals control 1x. Actually, I'm going to go player rotation plus control 1x. And then I can go if control 1x is less than 0, then no, if player rotation is less than 0, then player rotation equals player rotation plus 360. I really need to have like notation like like plus equals, or even just plus to increase the variable, but I'll get there eventually. Else if player rotation is greater than or equals to 360, then I'll just go player rotation equals player rotation minus 360. So that keeps that variable within bounds. Let me just, it's supposed to be set. So go back to that. I'm just going to check that it compiles. Okay, so that seems okay. So now we want to set it to a frame. So let me just check. What is 360 divided by 12? 30. Oh, of course it's 30. So no, I don't need that open anymore. I can just get rid of that. So let's go back to here. So we want to do something like a player animation, and that will be what, a player ship. We don't need loop or auto flip. Now does that? Okay, so we do need frame. So we want frame equals player rotation so divided by 30, but I also want to add 15 degrees to it because or subtract 15 degrees. Let me just try this to begin with. Might... Oh! A player ship, what is... Oh! Okay, that's a player ship. Okay, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh! I don't know why it's not doing anything, because I haven't actually hooked it up. So what do we call it? Handler, player handler. Hopefully that will do something. Mixer says, now that the code blocks are made of plain text rather than JSON, I wonder if the editor runs faster. Probably not really. Oh, okay, so it's going all wonky. So it keeps going back to that first frame, and then... Okay, so why is that? So if I got... All of these are set to infinite. Let's check my... Player rotation. Ah, okay, so the bug... Okay, alright, so bug here. So ELSIF is one word. I need to add some more, like, better handling for things, edge cases, like if I've got else, space between else and if, but that's okay. I think this is actually one of my first times actually coding something in Scorpion in the text mode. Okay, so that's better. I don't understand why it was facing that weird direction to begin with. Because it should be just facing straight up and down, I think. Well, let me check. Is that... Let me have a look. So, well, let's get rid of that to begin with. Rotation times 30. I think I might need to create a temporary variable to hold that. Yeah, why is it facing to the left? Because player rotation should be 0 on startup. So, player rotation... Maybe I've got something that sets the rotation to like -90 or something by default. But that's rotation equals 0. So I can do that to start with. And then player spawn. Let's try that again. Hi Mika Kemi, welcome to the chat. Okay, so that's better. So I must have something that sets the default rotation to like -90 degrees, but okay. Probably should have made more rotations than just that many of them, but so there is an issue here where the variable word the final rotation. So if I go rotation equals player rotation plus 15, and then divide that by 30, and then subtract 1. Well, in fact, I should be able to just... I didn't even really need that variable. I should be able to just do that. So that rounds it up so that so if it's a 0, or if it's a... Oh, but no, that's all going to always going to be positive. Well, let's just try that. See what that looks like. I might want to increase the speed of the rotation as well. Oh, player handler. What did I? What did I do? What line was it? Value for like these. Is it with that line? It should be telling me which line the problem is. No, there's... Oh, because I didn't set a value to it. Okay, so that's... Okay, so let's go back to my this what, take it, what, 5? That should be fairly fast. Okay, well that will do. So that's that has gotten me the at least the rotation. Actually, before I forget, I'm going to add some wrap events so that when it goes outside the screen, it will just wrap around like Asteroids should. I'm going to add some conditions for clamping the player speed. So if I go player as X speed greater than set player X speed is 3, else if player X speed less than -3, then set player speed is -3, and let's saving a lot of time versus doing all of this in the editor. So now we need to actually set the speed. Actually, I will need to go back to I need the command for just trying to work out. Oh, angle will do. Yeah, I'll use the angle command. So on declare var fraction delta speed x equals 0, declare fraction delta speed y equals 0, and then if I go if control 1 y is greater than less than 0, so that's if I'm pushing forward. I could then go angle, or is it rotate out? No, what was it? What did I say it was? Math. Oh, rotate. Okay, so I got confused by that. So I called it one thing in Codeblocks, doing a different thing in editor. So if I start with rotate, so I want to rotate by the player rotation, and then I will have it as what, negative 0.1. Oh, no, that should be variable. I'm sorry, I haven't really coded that much within Codeblocks 2, so I keep forgetting my own syntax. Should be better. Yeah, that's looking better. In fact, I can leave that at just. I don't actually need those. I can just rotate that into math x and math y, and then I can just go player x speed equals player x speed plus math x dot. And the reason I'm putting dot in it there is that forces it to a fraction. Otherwise, it might try to compile it as a integer. And all of these I can just there. Okay, hopefully that's given us something that we can work with. No, not yet. Is the fraction too small? Let's go back to that. I should make sure all of these are set to fractions. Oh, that's supposed to be set. Okay, let's see if that makes any difference. Yeah. The problem, well, the problem is we don't have we don't have 360 different animation frames, so it looks a bit weird because we're not going exactly in each direction. Can we fix that? Yeah, I'm gonna go variable. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna add a temporary variable here. So I'm gonna call this variable. It's gonna be a word. Target frame equals frame. And then if I rotate target frame by 30, let me just double check that looks okay here. So is that right? So 0, yeah. Oops. Pass value player rotation. What did I do here? Oh, okay. I set target frame equals. I was trying to do the set and the variable declaration at the same time that didn't make any sense. Okay, so it's still acting a bit strange. Oh, okay. Switch one goes through walls. The rotation's still acting a little bit strange, but I'll look into that soon. I'll add a stop button just to help debug this. So if control 1 button, hit bit test Amiga fire 1, end. I'll just go player x speed equals 0.0, player speed equals 0.0. Of course, we'll not have that. That is the set command. Let's try that again. Whoops. One button hit. What did I get wrong? Did I... Oh. Is that supposed to be... Oh, okay, so let's just B test. Let's try that. No, control 1 button. Is it buttons hit? No. Is control 1 hit buttons. Okay, yep. That's... Flowable says looks 30 degrees off. Yeah, that seems to be about the case. Okay, so it's okay going... Huh. Well, that's weird. Why was it... Hey. Okay, let's have a look. So 0 plus 15 divided... Okay, so that's going to be... That will be negative, of course. So I'll need to go with... if target frame is less than 0, then I'll just go target frame equals 0. So this is all very hacky. I'm just trying to get it... No. Did I mess up my set command? Yes. I keep forgetting to put set in, so this is just something I'm going to have to remember to do. Fab says, consider adding inline editing code block window and EC experience stays in one place. Yeah, I think that would be worth having. Just sort of to, like I personally prefer to code in Visual Studio Code. It's what I'm used to, but a lot of people, they may just prefer to keep it entirely within the editor. And the other thing is, like, the plugin is very new, so it doesn't have a lot of things like being able to tell me what are the correct variable names. Those things I think will come eventually. But yeah, so we've got a very simple Asteroids game. No shooting, no actual asteroids, but we've made a very custom controller, and we could we could make this a lot smooth. We could make the rotation a lot smoother if we had time. We could make the visuals better. Just gonna really quickly try it on Mega Drive and Neo Geo now. I'm gonna need to crunch the palette. Oh, actually, that's two. Because unfortunately, I don't really have time to properly sort out the palette because the background and the ship should be different colors. But you see, it works on Mega Drive, no problems with that at all. Oh, and that, oh yeah, that is 320 wide. And if I go to Neo Geo CD. Oh, what have I messed up there? Oh, okay. I just need to set the. I think it's just getting confused because. Um, if I go edit tile set, I can force it to that Neo Geo palette of 0. I think it's just getting confused because some of those colors are not in the palette, so it doesn't exactly know what tile to, or what palette to use. So I can force it to palette of 0. There we go. So we've got Amiga, Mega Drive, Neo Geo. We've got a very, very rough Asteroids style game. And yeah, well, I think that's that's all I've got for now. Oh, thanks for joining the chat, Demo Scene TV. I hope you've enjoyed this very first episode of Scorpion TV. Hopefully, next time will be a little more polished, some fewer bugs. So, yeah, are a couple of things I do need to sort out within the Scorpion Engine experimental, especially that palette import bug. I normally try to raid someone. So, I will see who is streaming right now. Oh, welcome, Fab. Let's see who we can raid. Who's on right now? Who am I following? Oh well, there's a Moonstone tournament on at Retro Demiurgy, so I am just going to send everyone there. So thanks all for watching, and I will see you in the next stream, hopefully.